Buddy was brought to the shelter by animal control. He was found abandoned in an apartment that his people had been evicted from. He spent 9 months living there before I rescued him and brought him to Ben's place. On the outside, Buddy was tough. He was this strong, muscled dog, lean. I used to joke and say he was the Ben's place bouncer. He'd sit in that window by the kitchen or look out the porch door, and he was always one of the first ones to bark if anything was moving out there. And he was quick to throw down if one of the other dogs crossed his boundaries or came too close to his food. And that was just on the outside, though. I mean, on the inside, Buddy was the biggest marshmallow. This dog just loved affection. Oh my God, he was so cuddly. In the morning, I would, after breakfast, I would have a coffee. I'd come sit on the couch, and he would come up to me with this slow, gentle, "Is it okay? Can I?" kind of demeanor, and slowly put one paw, then a second paw on the couch, and eventually he'd crawl up on my lap and sit there and get his morning cuddles. And that was our morning routine every day. He always wanted to sleep up on the bed at night, but I would never let him. So he always slept on the pillow right beside my bed, right close next to me. Buddy, Buddy loved blankets. He would roll in a blanket and like twist and roll and twist and roll until he was like all wrapped up and all buried in the blanket. It was so funny. And he would steal treats. God, he was the worst counter surfer. He would get his paws up on the counter, and man, if I did not every day, if I did not carefully, put the treats out of reach, he would remind me, and I would be in another part of the house, and I would hear the bowl hit the floor, and I'd come in, and there was Buddy licking up all the treats that he'd knocked over off the counter. He loved his yard too. He had this really funny way about him. We'd all go out in the yard and everyone would be bouncing and prancing and just wagging their tails. And Anya would grab her ball and Jerry would grab a treat and Max would chase everybody. And Buddy was just like, wow, we're outside. What do I do? What do I do? And he would just bounce and wag his tail and he didn't really know what to do or grab a toy or walk with me, but he was just happy to be out there. This happy, confused demeanor about it was so funny. Buddy and Remy were best friends, and it was right after Remy passed that Buddy started declining. He was off his food. He was just more lethargic. Just seemed off. First, I thought he was just depressed, but I think it was more than that. Looking back, we took him to the vet, and she gave us a lot of options, but they were all really invasive, and we weren't going to do that. As the spring wore on, his belly kept getting bigger and expanding. His gums were really pale, and he just looked so sad. It's been my experience that if you can quiet your mind and just sit with your dog and open your heart, they'll tell you things. And I always ask them what do they want when this time comes. And the message that Buddy sent me so strongly was help me. When I would ask Buddy what he wanted, he just kept asking me for help. Anyway, on that last day, the vet came to the house, and his passing was peaceful. He was on the ottoman just looking out at his yard. When I first rescued Buddy on his first afternoon when I brought him to the sanctuary, he met up with Remy and they were best buddies right away, and they spent that whole first afternoon together just running in the yard, back and forth, shoulder to shoulder, bumping each other and nipping at their necks, tails wagging. It was the most amazing thing to see. Hour after hour, that's all they did. Anyway, that's how I picture him now. That's how I picture Buddy being greeted on the other side. Remy there waiting for him with a smile, a yip and a tail wag, and off they go, running through the fields, shoulder to shoulder, nipping at each other's necks. Oh, my boys. Buddy was very, very loved. He will be missed. I'm Jeff, and this is Ben's Place.